I am not anti-label. I am anti-selling yourself short. Fast money goes faster. Yeah, just ask a stripper. And that's marketing 101 is know who you're speaking to. Because some people are visionless, if we're being honest.
When three goats of the music industry basically say that ain't it about your artist.
No, but you have to have this unwavering faith in yourself. You want grandma's gumbo, you don't want a Hot Pocket.
Yeah.
No, we're in Stone Mountain. Where we at?
This is Stone Mountain.
This is the heart of racism. See how racist they are?
It took me 2 years to get Kei Henderson on the podcast, but damn it, we did it. Kei is a Grammy-winning music exec who's known for managing 21 Savage and co-founding Since the 80s, who's an Atlanta-based record label, home to JID, EarthGang, and so many of your favorite acts. On today's episode, we talk about her leap of faith starting her very own management, publishing, and label company called Third and Hayden. She gave us all the sauce about exactly how she's helping her super diverse roster of artists win in 2024. This one is a must-watch. Let's get right into it. Coke Zero, Coke
like
Zero,
really impressed with that
Coke, Coke,
Because jingles gotta be funner.
Yeah.
Or if you listen to V103, like they're like
Starting to get it.
commercials are like bops.
Yeah.
They're not like regular commercials.
Yeah. They have like great
They have,
hip hop
like,
beats.
Yeah,
Did
exactly.
Southside produce
nice
this?
Yeah, exactly. they have good verses, But
So do you think Henry has a hit on his hands?
I'm not gonna hold you. I think that's a really fun record.
I'm so mad.
I think it's really good.
I'm so mad right now.
Are you jealous?
I mean, I never thought that we'd have a Grammy-winning executive, Kei Henderson, on the podcast, shouting out one of Henry's original records about Coke Zero and his love relationship with the soda.
I was maybe going to do a faceless, artist behind that, so we're
Not
exposing
anymore.
that.
Not
No,
anymore.
That's okay. If they watch the podcast, they know.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Right, they know it's you.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
right.
Kei, appreciate you coming on the pod.
Thank you so much.
Finally, huh?
I feel like the episodes that have been a little bit like tougher to schedule have always been the best.
The bangers.
Yeah, so I have
no pressure.
I know I have like extremely high hopes for this one because I feel like we were going to do this like a year and a half ago before, I actually like to refer to things before the Drake share. It's like BC before the Drake share.
PD.
What, post Drake?
PD, yeah. Post-Drake, pre-Drake. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a real turning point for the pod.
Wait, which episode did he share?
The KY Engineering.
Oh, I love that. Okay.
Yeah,
That's
because
what's up.
it was an epic like story about the making of Forever.
It
with
also
him and
made
Wayne.
Drake look like super fly in the
I
clip.
know.
So it was easy. We set him up for the share.
It was an
Set
alley-oop,
him up
bro.
for the show.
Yeah, but so obviously I want to get to all things Third and Hayden, which is your most recent venture. But you were a co-founder of Since the 80s.
Yes.
Home to JID, EarthGang, Sofago, other artists at this point.
All your favorites.
I know that was a big decision for you to part ways with, that team. What did you think you were going to do when you left, right? Like, what was the original plan? Because I think it's different than Third and Hayden.
Yeah. No, we all have. It's so funny. The original plan, right? Because I'm getting older. I'm like, yo, yeah, I know. It's
25
crazy.
is not that old.
It's not old.
Thank you very much. I was really craving stability. Like, obviously, this was during the pandemic where everything was very, very up in the air. Like, we had plans that got completely derailed. We had artists that were headed on tour, didn't go on tour. Everything was canceled. And I was just very in a weird space. I think a lot of us were. But I thought I was going to go work inside of a label. I'm like, I can get some health benefits. Maybe I can adopt a kid if I wanted to, or like freeze my eggs and do the whole thing. Because doing that as an independent entrepreneur, all that stuff's really expensive. So I'm like, I'm just going to go inside of a label, somebody that's like still an indie and then still boutique. And then it completely fell through. But shout out to Jay Irving. Like, I even hit him up a few months ago, like, yo, because I ripped him to shreds on Twitter, by the way. I found out somebody else got the job.
Oh, shit.
On Twitter.
And you took to Twitter to voice your...
Of course I did.
Dude, Kei is
so
a
emotional.
big tweeter,
That's
bro.
what Twitter's about.
I got most of
I'm
my
a Twitter
research
fingers for sure.
from Kei's Twitter feed
Love
for
it.
sure. Some people aren't active on Twitter, and it's really hard to research you guys, but it's really easy when Kei's just firing off.
You
like,
can be the most impulsive on Twitter. It's so easy.
It's right
You
off the
can't just
brain.
fire
It's right off,
like
yeah.
Instagram reel off real quick.
It's way more edited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Twitter is just like, whatever the fuck I'm thinking.
Twitter is the superior social media, hands down.
You love
Yeah?
it.
Oh, I love Twitter.
You love it.
Yeah.
So you fire shots being like, or like how...
1,000%. I mean,
What did you say?
it was something along the lines of, Like nobody even knows this guy, the person that they hired.
Oh, shit.
So not
Firing
only
shots
was
at the
it
guy.
right, not only was
And
it
the
shots
guy who
at Jay
hired
Irving, and it was the guy that got hired. I was just like, no one even knows you. Like and sorry to that man. I really don't know that man. So maybe I'm the only one. I might be the only one that doesn't though.
What if you were? What if the whole
possible.
industry knows this? What if he's a legend in the
Everybody
industry?
but me knows him.
Yeah.
And that's possible.
I mean, it's not really possible, actually. It's probably not.
No, but
So-
I was pissed.
Yeah.
I was pissed.
So-
but thankfully, though, before I had even fully accepted the job, because what happened was they sent me the healthcare benefits, the package.
Oh, shit.
And then I was just waiting to have another call with Jay Irving.
So you were deep in the process.
Deep, like super deep.
Okay, it wasn't like
Told Barry and Zeke, like, yo, I'm about to just do this label thing. Sorry, guys. Like, I'm tired. I'm a tired black woman. I'm just going to go work for people, which has never been my thing. I've never been a good employee. I think everyone that I've ever worked for has, loved me to death, but been like, you're the worst assistant on the planet. And I appreciate that honesty. It's like, I'm not a worker. So it actually worked out better that it didn't work out. But, in the midst of that, I was still going to manage artists. So I had to I restarted my company as Third and Hayden, but only to manage the artists that I was still working with, which was Azion and Jordan.
Okay.
So because I was taking them from since the 80s, I was still going to work with them. But currently under that understanding, I was going to be like a full-time label employee with the side business of doing management because they were in the developing stages. So I was supposed to give a list to, the Sony human resources people, like, here's the list, for the non-compete portions. And then I just never heard from Jay again.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow. Still haven't?
No. We've talked.
Okay. I was like,
after I ripped him to shreds and he was like,
let's talk.
well, no, it wasn't even that. It was just like, yo, you're passionate. Like, you're like me. You're so passionate. Mm-hmm. And he was like, I really respect that. And I was like, yeah, I had to apologize. Cause sometimes you get that humble pie. You know what I'm saying? It's just like,
we heard about that.
T-Ron.
Why am I wilding out? Like, why am I ripping this guy to shreds on Twitter who obviously has a lot of respect for me, wanted to work for me. We had a really good bond and relationship. And I was just like, man, fuck this guy.
Oh man. Okay.
Yeah.
So then when that falls through, you obviously still had the management clients, but was it something where you were going to try and apply for another label gig, or was that that was it? It was that was the sign where it was like, okay,
this is not for me. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so then what was the vision behind Third and Hayden, right? Like what did we decide? Cause I actually found a tweet.
Oh, here we go.
Do you remember your tweet from 2016?
Oh, that one.
That you retweeted recent. No, it's because you retweeted it recently, kinda.
Oh, did I?
Yeah. So you basically retweeted it recently, where you were like, in 2016, you said, I'm gonna start a boutique label.
Oh yeah.
And it was gonna be more of a marketing, you said something that basically perfectly aligns with what I kind of see Third and Hayden being today.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
So you kind of already had that forethought, and I know since the 80s probably has some of the elements that you now have applied to Third and Hayden. But what's the vision for Third and Hayden right now? Just so we set the stage.
It's very similar to since the 80s, right? Where it's management, label, and publishing. Our kink is really working with artists from the very beginning, right? And bringing something from 0 to either 50, 60, or even 100 if we, stay with an artist through the lifetime of their career. But that's always been what me, Barry, and Zeke were very passionate about. And so it's still that, right? But the only difference is this particular chapter is just incredibly personal for me, because Third and Hayden is is a special place, a real world place that I learned about who I am, right? I learned about music. I learned about building. I played with Legos at this house. This house still stands today. My grandmother still technically lives in that house in East Cleveland, Ohio. So to me, it was just a little bit more personal and kind of coming back to myself. And I've just been very intentional just about remaining super diverse with our roster, but also supporting our artists where they're at. You know what I mean? Not rushing the process, letting people, go through their own growth changes and kind of come full circle with their own sounds and evolve, and just really just being a safe space for these artists.
So let's shout out some of the artists on the roster, just so people know who they can kind of look up and be like, oh shit, she's got her hands in this diverse kind of, range of talent.
For sure. So Anastasia, She's LA based. She's incredible. Very much like folk music. So I think like Joni Mitchell, Tracy Chapman, but like modern day.
Fire.
We just started working with Buddy, rapper Buddy.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, myself and Natalie Prosper and Matt. Matt's his day-to-day, who's incredible. You know, we had a meeting like 3 or 4 months ago, and I was like, yo, I've always been a fan, and I've just been wanting you to see you do more. And I was just really, honored to be, brought to the table with them. And it's like, yo, let's just work.
Such a talented artist and one of the best personalities.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's such a character. You can't help
such a character.
but love him.
And not afraid to show it, which is, some people are characters, but they don't like sharing.
Yeah, and he's very nice. And his artist community is like very supportive and very vast. Like, I don't think there's a single artist in LA that doesn't know who Buddy is.
Every big artist fucks a Buddy.
Yeah,
big and small, honestly, but it's like,
It's like your favorite artist's favorite artist kind of character.
1000%.
Yeah, okay.
Ben Riley, who you guys obviously know.
Shout out to Ben Riley.
We've heard of him.
One of my favorite artists still to this day.
Love that.
He's constant rotation.
Yes.
I mean, Let the
He's
Sample Work is
special.
probably like one of my favorite songs.
No, he's
probably
very
ever.
special.
Yes.
I honestly feel like he's going to be one of those greatest rappers of all time conversation. It's nice to see people very sleep on him in this current moment, because I already see it. Like, I see it all the way through when he's like 60, like how important he's going to be.
Yes.
So I'm very excited about him. And then Jordan Hawkins, I think John Mayer, Prince, Lenny Kravitz, and one ball of a beautiful, tall black man from
Yeah,
North
he's
Carolina.
unique, man.
Yeah.
He's special.
Yeah.
This next album is incredible.
I'm trying to put my finger on like what he's got going on.
It's his own thing.
Yeah, it is like it's something I've never seen before.
Yeah.
Like the look, the music,
All of it.
kind of everything.
I feel like a lot of our artists are that, though. They're very
Yeah.
unique and there's not much you can compare to them, which I enjoy that. Like, it's a challenge for sure. It's very much uphill battle and getting people to see the vision, because some people are visionless, if we're being honest. They like just take a little bit longer to get on the bandwagon, but
I would also think that's the way to do it in modern day. Like, there's not a lot of artists that are just the new version of an older artist these days. It's like they are starting some type of new wave or some lane or combining lanes or there's something special about everyone that's gotten, up through there, I feel like. So
yeah.
But yeah, like what challenges do exist with that? Because it would be way easier in some ways, I assume, to, pick talent that is a little more like easily understood.
Yeah.
People can reference some other thing.
which
that's-
playlist to pitch them to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they should open for this exact
Right.
artist on tour because that's what they do and
It's
they
very
fit.
cookie cutter and figured out already.
Sure. So
Yeah.
like how are you approaching this type of diverse range of talent then? Like
I'm at this space of just like, I've actually always been like this. I make people come to us. We're not going to overwork ourselves to get in front of you necessarily or make you accept us, but I feel like everything kind of has its timing and it'll just get there when it gets there. I think a lot of it is just strong marketing and strong product. Like, every single artist has incredible bodies of work that are going to be marketed as such, not just, hey, check out this one song and then put it on your playlist and then go dance to it on TikTok. Like, none of our artists are that. And when you said like there's not a lot of artists that are like I guess like future versions of things we've heard before, like a Joni Mitchell, like I really do believe every artist on our roster is very much a legacy act.
yeah.
These are the future Jay-Z's, these are the future whatever, like fill in the blank. I think these are those artists. So I think that we're just taking a very intentional, specific approach to like, okay, this is this artist and this is how we're going to market that, and people are either going to love it or not.
But it's going to take longer.
1000%.
How are those conversations going? Because we live in a day and age where
Instant
like,
gratification.
bro,
Yeah.
if I'm an artist and if I'm not up tomorrow, I want to quit borderline, right? And I mean, shit, we have the same issues, like, growing a podcast for the last 3 years. It's like, man, this shit it's a grind, and like, you really got to stay down and like believe in the long-term vision.
Yeah.
Because you do see overnight successes happening and it's tough not
It's
to look
discouraging.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1000%.
So
But do you think those overnight successes are actually detrimental maybe to some of them? Like, can you come up too fast?
Yeah. Oh, 1000%.
It can hurt you, right?
Yeah, fast money goes faster. Yeah, just ask a stripper. They never have money. No disrespect.
Yeah.
Do your artists struggle with the like patience?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1000%.
How do you know what I mean? Like, if someone's out there struggling with like, fuck, I haven't made it and it's been XYZ amount of time.
Yeah.
What kind of conversation would you have with that artist?
I mean, it's honestly just a lot of honest reassurance and honesty. right, with them. And it's like, yo, you're the underdog, like, and I'm the underdog. That's why we work together. And so just kind of just reassuring them, like, yo, we're on the right path. Look at where you were last year. Look at where you were 3 months ago. That's improvement, right? My motto since I think the very beginning of my music career has been a fan a day.
Yes.
You can't worry about every single body all over the world in the first 2 years of your career. It's going to take time to reach masses and masses of people. And so I just give people a lot of reassurance and like tell them to take their time and kind of go inward. And I think I'm really thankful now to work with artists that are very self-aware, who also understand like, yeah, I am different. This is going to take longer. I'm tripping. And they kind of get themselves back on track, you know. So
and I think the milestone
checks and balances.
The milestone thing I think is huge. They're talking about like reminding people
like growth.
Yeah, you've done this. This is where you were last month. This is where you are.
We never do it.
Just checking in.
We never look at like really where we've come
you guys
from.
have come a long way.
We have. No, we have. Like even just hearing you say that, I was like, fuck, where were we 1 year ago?
Not here.
Not shit. You know what I mean? Like compared to where we are today.
Definitely
Free Drake, bro. Everything's free Drake. Before, no, it's BD and AD. Yeah. It's BD and AD, bro. Before Drake and after Drake. Yeah. That's crazy.
Oh, but to finish your question, also on the roster.
Yes, please. Because I don't want to.
Key, Fat Man Key.
Come on.
Yeah. Another podcast alumni.
Waiting
Legend.
for that one.
Zaya Bell.
Yes.
And producer Jay James.
Okay.
Yes, and we've been working with this.
Is that your first producer?
Not really.
Okay.
I used to work with Pyrex and Chase the Money.
Ooh.
No, but I mean Third and Hayden.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, Jay James has kind of been down for like the last 3 years, just kind of patiently waiting his moment. But he's the first producer in the squad.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. No, everyone go check out all of those.
Really?
So do you think that you're like anti-label, anti-establishment?
I am not anti-label. I am anti-selling yourself short or giving away too many of your rights before it even makes sense to give away anything. You know, when I've worked with previous clients, we were very, very specific in achieving certain things on our own, right? Gold records, tours, radio play. Like there were our own milestones, freshman covers that we wanted to do before we even entertained very many conversations. Because granted, we did have conversations super early, and that's really just like get you on the radar kind of conversations. Like, hey, let's go to New York way before it even makes sense. After the Slaughter tape with 21 Savage, let's go up and meet Lior and Todd, and just so they can know you. And every single one of those guys told me, no, he's not a star. It's a little too dangerous. Like literally. And
hang on.
No, Todd and Leo are like, they're still friends of mine. Like these are people that like
Tom Moskowitz?
Todd, Lior, and Kevin Lyles.
All passed.
Like
hard pass.
Like,
nah, that ain't it.
That ain't it. Like he's too dangerous. He'll never be able to do, mainstream things. And I was like, okay, cool. It's no big deal. I'm just anti just selling. Like, that wasn't the time. That was like, hey, check this guy out. I think he's dope. I'm working with him. We're putting out tapes. We're working with Sonny. He has a relationship with Metro. We're going to do a tape with him. Just like kind of planting the seeds, but it wasn't the time.
So when three goats of the music industry basically say that ain't it about your artist,
you gotta be fucking confident.
How do you move forward? I would be like, all right, 21, sorry, like I'm gonna go find someone else that Lior, Kevin, and Todd are a fan of.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Like,
no, but you have to have this unwavering faith in yourself, like you do. Like when you told me you were quitting your job to do your podcast full time and you already had kids, I was like, oh, he's crazy. Like he's a madman. But you have to have that level of belief, not only in yourself, but in what you're building. And I really fully believed in everything that was. Like I really felt like, no, this person is special. He's gonna be a front row at Tom Ford and St. Laurent shows. He's gonna walk in these things. Like he's gonna do these things. It's a beautiful band, and he's making unique music. I believed in him as much as I believed in myself.
Yeah,
and that you can't do anything other than that is believe. And faith is the strongest thing you can have.
So you're not anti-label though?
No, not at all.
Yeah. So it's just
I'm anti-bad partnerships.
Yes.
Right.
And there's a lot of them out there, huh?
Anti-predatory deals.
Yeah.
I'm anti-artists signing 7 album deals.
Yeah.
So okay, but here's the devil's advocate that a lot of people like to play when these bad deals come up, right? Where are the attorneys?
Attorneys are the worst people on the planet.
Oh,
Speak on it, Key.
Like, they'll lie through their teeth for you, and that's not a good person.
yeah.
That's somebody that's on your side, and that's great, but that doesn't mean that they're a good person. I think a lot of lawyers, and I won't say all, are bad. My lawyer actually is in the process of unlawyering. Like, she's going full into life coaching because she's just like, the music business is a shit show, and I can't fix it by myself. So I'm going to work on this side of the fence. Obviously, with the lawyer brain a bit in the back, where I'm still thinking a bit like a lawyer, but current lawyers don't necessarily always have the best interest of the client in mind. It's a lot of, let's make some money. Let me get a kickback. I know lawyers that get kickbacks from labels.
Wow.
If their clients knew that, they'd be fired immediately.
Wow. Yeah, that's kind of an interesting one.
Right now. I hate to interrupt this episode, but guys, I got one thing on the mind right now, and it's data. I can't stop thinking about it. All the artists in 2024 are winning because of data. They know who their fans are. They have access to their fans. Do you? Spotify's not telling you who your fans are. Apple Music ain't telling you who your fans are. But our friends over at DistroKid created a feature called Hyperfollow. Every single release, you can set up a pre-save campaign with a hyperfollow and get access to every single fan's email address. Now you can let them know when you have a show coming up, when you're dropping exclusive merch, when you're going live. And without the data, you're just bound by the algorithms of TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. No more relying on those platforms. We're going straight to our fans. DistroKid is the best DIY distributor. You can upload unlimited music for a ridiculously low rate. And you're gonna have access to features like Hyperfollow. OMTdistro.com, you're gonna get 30% off when you sign up for DistroKid, and you can start collecting your fans' data today. Henry, let's get back into it. So, Brent Faiyaz has his reasons, right, of why stay independent, okay? And I think you're a huge fan of Ty,
Huge fan.
him and his business partner, I guess, is probably the best term for Ty Baisden, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, him and Brent Faiyaz have built obviously an incredible company together, centered around Brent as the artist, really like the kind of flagship independent story, right? Why do you think an artist should or should not stay independent? Because I think we love to throw the term independent, like, I'm independent. Like, I love being independent.
I'm stressed.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what should an artist know about being independent?
It's expensive.
Yeah, like, it's a great start.
Yeah, it's very, very expensive.
Yeah.
I can't really tell people whether or not they should be indie or not indie.
But what should they know about being indie?
For me, it's like you have this you need this giant team of people, producer, engineer, manager, tour manager, all this giant roster of people.
And you pay all of them.
You're the one paying them in the least profitable, 0.3 of a penny industry that you're living in.
Yeah, streaming has been a blessing and a curse for the music business. The top that are at the top now are, they made it past a certain point where they can be at the top, but it's harder than ever to be one of those success stories. But
yeah, so it's expensive as fuck.
It's expensive.
Yep.
It can become stressful. I mean, being an entrepreneur in general is stressful, right? Because sometimes, you'll have 1 month where it's like, oh man, we killed it. We made 5-6 figures, but then it might be 7 or 8 months before you see another significant amount of money until you get to a Brent Faiyaz phase, right? Or stage where you're seeing consistent cash flow coming in and you're able to like, all right, let me get into investments. Okay, let me buy a home. Let me do all of these things. But it's very, very expensive and it can be stressful. I think having a good business partner like a Ty Baisden, who is incredibly smart. Before he was working with Brent, he was very, very smart. And so getting with somebody that is a business-minded person that sees the vision and says, okay, we can do this, but we can do this in fashion. We can do this in touring. Let's pay for our own tours instead of, doing it the other way. Like, it takes a lot of vision and thought. And if you don't have vision, I don't suggest being independent. I think you should just sign to a label.
Yeah. But even if you sign to a label or not, like, how important do you think it is for artists to treat themselves as companies?
Oh, you have to. Yeah. You have to treat yourself as a company.
Yeah.
From the bottom up, right? From the branding elements, from the staffing side of things. Like, you have to think of yourself as a business.
But that's where I think.
How many of these artists have that business mindset? I feel like not most of them. They're so good at the creativity and being in the studio and making the art, and this whole other side is required.
Okay,
I think there's more and more artists though that are becoming very aware in that way, though, business minded, because they're having to. They're not having a lot of people get involved from very early, like attorneys or managers or whatever. It might just be them and a creative team, but they're having to figure it out because out of necessity.
Right.
So it's like a survival of the fittest kind of thing.
Do you think your art, you know what I mean? Like, obviously I know you bring a lot of that business savvy, like, to the equation here.
Sure.
Does your whole roster, for example, operate with that like very entrepreneurial mindset?
Yes.
Okay. Well, so is that kind of like
one of my requirements?
that's a prerequisite.
Ooh.
Yeah, 1,000%.
Yeah. Like we just can't.
We can't even talk.
No.
If you don't understand that this is your company.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing?
And that I'm
Yeah.
a co-owner in this company that we're doing together.
Right. And in some instances, I just manage your business that you built.
Sure.
Right. Because me and Ben are business partners.
Sure.
Like, we have the Ty Baisden, Brent Fayez set up. But there are other clients that I just manage your business that you're, that's coming in or that I'm going out to proactively seek for you. And that's a different setup. There's no equity involved in that. So that's a certain level of, work.
Why would an artist bring in a business partner versus a manager?
I think it definitely takes the right kind of artist understanding where they're trying to go. So the vision part is super important. The person that's bringing in a business partner is very independent mindset, like from the very beginning. They're not someone that enjoys, having a boss. Like, they want to do things their own way. Their creativity cannot be compromised. That's somebody I think it's like, you got to bring in a business partner. Obviously, Chris Clancy and Tyler have probably worked in a more manager artist capacity, but I'm sure at some point in their careers they've worked together as business partners on certain projects, right? Because they see, okay, you're a businessman, so I'm going to meet you at businessman level, or woman, obviously.
Sure.
So I think it is a lot of self-awareness and vision and knowing what the end goal is, knowing that you're like a slow roll, like you're not an instant turn up, like you're not just getting on TikTok and then you blow up. You're not a viral artist, like understanding that this might take 7 years, and that's going to take a business partner because a label's not giving you 7 years of time to develop.
We want that oven money, not that microwave money.
Yeah,
baby.
Correct. You want grandma's gumbo. You don't want a Hot Pocket.
Yo, Hot Pockets be hitting though, bro. I'm just saying.
Until you burn
my mouth.
Until you burn your tongue. Yeah.
until you've lit your mouth.
I have permanent tongue damage thanks to Hot Pockets and pizza rolls. Swear to God.
Dead.
So speaking of kind of like viral TikTok sensations, right? If I'm starting a label, there's a good argument for like, fuck it, I'm signing the next big TikTok or like, the next big TikTok smash. Like, why not? Sure. Like, do you think there's a trend towards consumers wanting like music that isn't just TikTok hits, or like, where do you feel the state of the music business is for like us listeners?
People want more substantive music and music that mirrors the times, right? We're hearing a lot of that talk around like, music should show what's going on in the world. And I think this next generation of kids they're very, very smart. They're very, very self-aware. They know that our world is like slowly deteriorating. There's wars happening. There's genocide happening. There's a growing level of hate for other people that is just like grown disgusting. And people want to hear music that takes them out of that, but then also speaks to that and says, hey, everything's not good. Like, shit's going down in other parts of the world. So listen to this. Listen to Anastasia, someone that makes you go inward and kind of center yourself, right? Or listen to Ben, who's speaking about some of these, racist matters or whatever. Like, they're speaking to what's going on in the world. So I do think currently in today's time, like, people want more depth, more substance. That's what the whole beef is with Kendrick and Drake. It's not about who's better. It's about who's lived more, who's like done a little bit more soul searching and is willing to connect more with people rather than just, provide cool songs to dance to.
I was kind of reading through the lines on some of your tweets. You don't seem like a Drake. You seem like you're siding with Kendrick big time. This. She was like, if your favorite artist is Drake, we can't even talk. It's literally what one of her tweets
No, I think I said unfollow me.
Oh, okay.
Maybe we just have nothing in common.
Okay.
And I used to really like Drake. Like,
and then,
but when we were the same age and then it just stopped evolving. It stopped growing. I stopped hearing things that I connected with. So, and Drake's not a bad artist. Like, he resonates obviously with a lot of people, but I just want more. That's just where I'm at.
Yeah.
And everybody's not at that level. Maybe they just want to turn up because they're about to head out or because they're about to go to, a college party, or they're about to go, to a bachelorette party or whatever, and they want to listen to Drake. Cool. But then if I want to like really, really sit with myself and evaluate and reflect, I'm not listening to Drake. I'm listening to Kendrick.
See, and this is where I think you're not even saying this, but where my mind goes immediately is this is where you have to understand like who you're making music for.
Yeah,
Sure.
1000%.
Yes.
You know, because
Yeah, but I think Drake's very aware of who
He
he's
knows.
making music. Yeah, he knows. He's too smart to not.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking our audience maybe could use like some reflection around like who are they making music for, right? Because I think the quicker you can like come to terms with who exactly you're making music for and like what settings your music should be played in, right?
Oh, it's huge.
It's like the quicker you can just further go deeper into that world that you're building, right?
1000%. That's marketing 101 is know who you're speaking to.
Yeah.
Who's buying, who's consuming my music, my product or my brand.
How do you find that out as an artist?
I think it takes a little bit of trial and error initially, like when you're an upstart artist and figuring out who your people are, kind of like existing as a human is growing through life. Like it takes a while to find your people, right? So kind of getting music out there and seeing who resonates with it, who's DMing you like, yo, I really love this song. It makes me feel like this, or I listen to this when I'm going through it. Thank you for making this album. Like those are your people and you find them, and then without stalking them, obviously you kind of get a sense of like, oh, this is where this fan shops. This is, the kind of movies this fan likes. Oh, I like those kind of movies. What a coincidence. So I think what you end up finding when you start putting music out is like, you're finding your people because they're like you, right? They connect with your story. They connect with your narrative. They want to be your friend if they ever had the opportunity to be. And so I think that's how you find your fans.
I literally made a video about basically stalking your fans.
Yeah.
And like, it's not a literal thing either, guys. So like
they'll show up at their house.
But it was like,
go look at their profile.
Digitally give them a look.
Yeah.
What are these people like? Like,
you'd think Nike's not taking a look at, what college athletes are wearing and how they're showing up and how high school athletes are showing up. They're taking a look at their audience to better improve their product.
Of course.
If you're a business, you have to do that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So is there such a thing as a TikTok artist in your mind?
I don't know. I think I don't want to disrespect anybody. No.
Yeah, because like, I kind of agree, man. Like at this point, let's there's
an artist that maybe found a bulk of their marketing success on TikTok.
But that just means that they have a certain demographic that likes their music that also happens to like using TikTok.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think that has anything to do. What are you, an Instagram artist?
Yeah.
You a fucking YouTube artist? Like,
Right.
I don't know that that's really. Are you a Spotify artist? Like,
Because if that's the case, you would call a Russell an Instagram artist. Right?
Yeah.
Like
Right.
he built a lot of his base by taking his, backyard parties onto Instagram.
Yeah.
And then doing content and step and repeat. But he's not an Instagram artist.
no.
But we do have like SoundCloud rappers. That's kind of a thing.
Don't get me started on SoundCloud.
Oh yeah.
Well, now I'm kind of interested on your high level.
No, we're not opening the SoundCloud door, Henry.
SoundCloud
He doesn't know what that means. He doesn't know. He doesn't know.
I want to know now.
I don't think we want to know.
No one wants to know.
No. Okay, so we talked about marketing 101. Let's get a little bit into just like you've got a roster of artists, right? Sorry, Henry, we're not going there.
Talking about this after this episode.
That's fine. I mean, if you want to comment on it, I don't.
I'm learning to be professional and politically correct. I'll tweet about it at some point.
Just follow her on Twitter, Henry, and you'll.
At Kyoko
Open
Stores
Stores.
for more on SoundCloud.
KEI.
Okay,
KEI.
so you kind of talked about marketing 101. I do want to just unpack a little bit of like the marketing strategy that you have in place for your artists, right?
Sure.
Because what tactics are you employing to really like find fans, nurture fans, build communities, et cetera? Like how are you approaching that?
Every single artist is for sure different and has their own strategy. I tend to lean into where the artist wants to go and kind of follow their lead and kind of just be like additive or added value to what they're already wanting to do.
Sure.
I'm not a big fan of making an artist do something because I think that I'm right, because I don't think that anyone right now has the answers. So a lot of it's been trying different approaches. Like for Ben Riley, for example, he's very anti-social media, loves Twitter, but like he's not posting all day. He's not getting on TikTok all day. He will get on Discord and have conversations with his fans. I think, a lot of what he's finding success in is like what we were just talking about, is finding his tribe. So he tweets about, Spider-Man, the new movies and the games, and then he's finding his fan through that, right? And so I think it's a lot of like just being who you are is like guiding the marketing strategy, and then finding ways to amplify it online without taking away from the art, if that makes sense.
I feel like the hardest part for some of the artists I know is like almost just being completely self-aware and even who am I?
I think being self-aware is the biggest and best thing anybody in the music business can do. Not only artists, but executives as well.
Yeah. What are you good at? What are you not good at?
Yeah. And know that and understand that and be good with that.
Yeah.
You know, and then find your people that are good at that thing that you really suck at.
How do you approach like the IRL stuff versus the digital marketing? Because in my mind, we talk about this all the time of how important those things are, especially if you live in a city that can be activated.
For sure.
Right? Like if you're in the middle of nowhere and it doesn't have the music scene that you want and like your fans just aren't there.
Sure.
I empathize with you. I get it. Right. But like if you're in a major market where there's fans that exist, like that will like your music, I do feel like there has to be some parts in real life, and then there has to obviously be like the digital marketing side of things.
Definitely. I'm very like old school and analog, pro analog. I'm pro word of mouth, in person, IRL.
So what does that mean though? You know what I mean? Like in practice, what?
In practice, it honestly looks like, you know, how many people can you get in a room that are already fans of yours, maybe from digital, you've identified them from social media or through your newsletter or through your Discord, and you do a meetup and 10 people show up. All right, that's your core. So the next time your goal should be, can we get 20 people to show up to this one thing, whether it's a movie night or game night, whatever it is. Like it doesn't have to be always so overthought. I think that a lot of artists and creatives, because we're all creative, we get in our way by overthinking the thing too much. But knowing that like, it could just be 10 people watching the Spider-Man movie at this spot that allows us to play movies.
Is it also ego that they want more than 10 people?
Yes.
1,000%.
Because it looks embarrassing, right?
Yep.
Only a few people show up, but you have to build something for people to even show up to.
Yeah.
So the first time doing it, if you're expecting thousands and thousands of people to come, like you're quite honestly Delulu, unless you've already been doing a thing for a certain amount of time. I think like one of the best marketing companies in the music business is LVRN.
Yes.
They have like super strived at taking things that are in real life and magnifying them on the internet. And it works every single time because they keep at it. They didn't just stop at the first one that only 50 kids showed up to. They keep at it and keep at it. And that's shown through in what they've been able to build.
How much time should be spent making music versus marketing music?
I don't know that there's like a one size fits all for that question.
No.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely different per the artist. And then, yeah, just in how, because you also want to train your fan on how to consume your music. If you're always putting things out, well, like get them on your cadence rather than being on their cadence. Like just because they're asking for a new song doesn't mean you have to put out a new song if you're not comfortable putting out a new song. Yeah. Right. I think for whatever reason, we've gotten to this like energy of like, well, when you're putting something out, it's like, yo, bro, I just put something out 6 months ago. Go check that out. But here's some marketing to support what I just put out 6 months ago. But I'm not ready to put out another project. I actually have to live life, go through some experiences before I put out an album like a SZA does or a Kendrick, etc. Like they space out their albums because they've trained their fan to, you know, create that demand. You know what I mean? You got to like let people miss you.
I think we're just kind of concerned about.
Interesting. This is.
But I don't know that it applies to podcasts.
No. I mean, I'm not even thinking podcast. I'm thinking just, we talk about this all the time.
We're concerned about the artists in our community who maybe spend a year working on a masterpiece album and then, you know, post the cover art twice, market it for 10 days.
There's that.
And then forget about it.
Okay. But so let's use
tragedy.
Let's use Ben. So how long did y'all promote Freelance? That was the first project, right?
That was the first project. So he put it out in like summer, 2022,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got wind of it like maybe the month after he put it out through Amir.
Yep.
Just started chatting with him. Didn't start working with him until January 2023.
Sure. And he was promoting it still that...
He was still promoting it.
Last 6 months?
Yeah, he was still promoting it.
And then, did y'all continue to...
Did we continue to what?
Yeah, to work it?
We did a little bit.
Okay.
But at some point, he got sick of it.
Yeah.
Right? Because he's like...
That was many months after.
Yeah, it was definitely many months after. Because then obviously the viral moment happened. And so that gave it some new steam. And a lot of people were discovering him. So during that discovery period, he's for sure promoting the hell out of his stuff. We were putting more music videos out to support the project and bring people back to it. Then we did a deal with AWOL. And that gave us some more influx of cash to like keep pushing it and keep marketing it, doing shows. But yeah, we pushed it for a good, I don't know, after its drop, 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like just in my mind, right, if we're not releasing new music, I feel like we do need to be pushing catalog though, right?
Definitely.
I mean,
I think we all got to do a better job of pushing catalog.
it's such a cheat code.
Yeah. Yeah. Like with Kei, for instance, like Fat Man Kei.
He has hits.
So
in
many
his
hits.
catalog that
So many
that are
hits.
new to a billion,
Yeah.
5 billion people, right?
Yeah,
It's like,
some of my strategies, honestly, like, what songs from this can we put on a compilation, or what songs can we just shoot a video for? Like Juvenile just shot a video for a song that's been out for 30 years.
no.
Yeah, that's hard.
I love it.
Amazing.
Because a song could pop off on TikTok or wherever, because kids are like, wait, what? I've never heard this song.
Yes.
A song's not old until, like, honestly, 1 billion streams, in my opinion.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Even then.
Yeah.
I was
real shit.
Bieber would say
There's so
a
many
Billy.
people. There's so many people. in
Old
the world.
songs are popping off. If you believe in it, make it work.
So, all right. So you mentioned obviously like 2020 when you were parting ways with Since the 80s, right?
2021.
Okay, all right. Obviously, the pandemic was contributing to this, but then, clearly the situation with, since the 80s, you were clearly feeling, unfulfilled, and you wanted different things for yourself in your life.
Sure.
Like, what's been your mental health journey, like, in the music industry? Because you've been doing this a little while.
Yeah.
And you've, obviously, worked with Savage back in the day, and then clearly, since the 80s and other things in between, right? You have a, very long story. But what's been your, journey when it comes to like the mental side of this business?
Well, for one, I didn't know that I needed to address mental health until a certain point. Like I had to hit almost complete rock bottom.
Well, what did that look like for you?
For me, that looked like, people that were really close to me that loved me saying, I was unrecognizable in terms of like how I was showing up. I had a really close friend of mine, after losing a mutual friend of ours, come to me and be like, I don't think you know who you are. And I was like, what? What do you mean by that? Like, what do you even mean by that? Right. And not even, just completely at a loss. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I know who I am. I'm Kei. I'm this Grammy-winning manager, and, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and yada, 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 yada. All these outside things, right, that, like, completed who I thought I was, right? It's, like, been 5 years of thinking and reflecting and therapy that was, like, coming back to myself, which is what Third and Hayden also is, right? It's, like, coming full circle back to who I started as, because as kids, we're, like, very pure, we're very innocent, we're very untainted, right? Minus like the traumas and things that like get added on, in years after being a young child. So in the last 5 years, I've just been doing a lot of that, a lot of soul searching and a lot of therapy. I think I've probably spent like maybe 5 figures in therapy. I go every other week.
Worth every dime though, huh?
Oh yeah. She's very expensive, but very worth it.
Okay. What do you think it is about the music business because I think we're just now at a point where we're starting to hear more conversations about mental health in music. I don't feel like historically it wasn't a thing.
No.
What about the music industry for creatives and then even executives do we think, you know what I mean, like makes mental health such a
thing right now?
Prominent thing?
I think it's a mix of things, right? I think it's the younger generations kind of showing us how important it is. Like there's a lot of younger people who prioritize mental health and the self-work, the shadow work, taking days off. Like when I was coming up, taking a day off sounded insane. Like, are you crazy? Summer Fridays, what? Someone asked me about Summer Fridays in our team call. I was like, what is that? What? But my generation in particular, I'm obviously a little older than y'all, like we worked to the bone, like because we had to, because we thought we had to, because we saw the people before us working their asses off. You know what I mean? So we thought we had to do that. And so you're not conscious of how much you're ignoring yourself and how much you're ignoring, your mental health and taking care of yourself and getting to know yourself, getting to see what you don't like, who you do like. A lot of our events are around open bars. There's a lot of drinking. You do a lot of dumb things when you're wasted out of your mind 4 days a week, 5 days a week, because you're at these networking events. So I think just in the last few years, it's become so like at the forefront because a lot of us hit rock bottom. Right? During the pandemic, in the middle of the pandemic, before the pandemic, where we're just like, we're washed. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. Suicidal ideation became a bigger thing that, our community is talking about. And we've seen Chris Lighties and really big people like want to get out of here. And I think it's a lot of it is the younger people being like, yo, that's not healthy. That's not cool to not know who you are. You know, it's not cool to not take a day off. Like, we don't have to be working 24/7. We're actually not curing cancer. Though I do think music is very healing. You can take a day off, and you should take a day off, right?
Why do so many artists, do you think, struggle with
mental health?
Yeah.
I mean, their entire job is almost being performative. And being performative is like, it's very detrimental to your spirit and your soul if you let it be, right? I'm always having to show up for other people. Always, you know, you can't repeat outfits, and you got to be fresh. And are you attractive? Are you too heavy? Like, it's a lot of like, it makes you very self-conscious, I think, to be an artist and to be always on display. Like, imagine someone just always watching you, like the Truman Show. You know, like, that can be very deteriorating to who you are as a human being. But I think there's a lot of artists who do a great job at not letting it take them under. Or even if they did let him take them under, they talked about it. You know, Kendrick talked about, you know, his therapy journey, which is why, you know, I resonate and connect with his journey. Drake has not told me anything about his.
Back to her hating Drake.
I don't hate Drake.
Circle.
This entire episode is about my hate.
Drizzy, she doesn't fuck with you, bro.
That's not true.
Cue the BBL Drizzy.
I just want to hear what he's talking about in therapy. That's it.
He's definitely doing
because
it.
we're the same age. You got to be going through something.
Yeah.
The money's not fixing everything.
No, it's so true.
I'd love to see like labels have in-house therapists.
Well, our deals come with mental health funds.
Love that
as a label.
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And that's something that it actually happened after Jordan. So Jordan's deal might be the only one that doesn't have that.
So he got screwed.
He got fucked. Yeah.
Sorry, Jordan. Talk about fucking artists out of their deals. I mean, where are my mental health benefits, Keys? Jesus.
It's a brand new thing.
Jordan,
it's
we got you. You can sign to the One More Time podcast records. We give you full mental health benefits. You can be our first artist. We'd love to poach you from Third and Hayden.
They go to white man.
Oh, God. And now it turned racial.
Now it's racist.
Yeah.
Wow.
We are in Georgia.
Okay.
It's true. Well, Atlanta,
Make that a clip.
Yeah.
No, we're in Stone Mountain. Where we at?
This is Stone Mountain.
This is the heart of racism.
There's literally racist people on statues like 2 minutes away from here.
We got Confederate generals carved into granite.
Yeah. You can hike with racists. It's like, come to Georgia.
Who doesn't love a good hike with a racist?
I mean,
okay, but
truly.
If I'm hiking with anybody,
Stone Mountain High School.
it's Stonewall Jackson, bro.
What about Stone Mountain High School, though? You know, that's a little different.
It's diverse.
We're diverse. Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, anyway.
Jordan, we're going to add a healthcare.
Yeah, let's fix after this episode.
And Zaya. I didn't add one in Zaya's now that
Wow.
Ooh, yeah.
I'm tripping.
You are a terrible
I'm a terrible
owner.
label executive.
Yes, you are. But
Just
okay,
like the rest
so
of
all
them.
right, so you guys have that, and so do you see other labels following suit at all, or
We've asked, different artists, either whether it be a distribution deal or like a boutique indie. We've asked for, can we take advantage of health insurance benefits? Because even just basic health insurance, it doesn't necessarily have to be specific to mental health, but just having health insurance is such a big weight off an artist's shoulders. We were denied both times that we asked about those benefits, which is unfortunate. But I think, there are other resources like Music Cares and other organizations that are like, hey, we're here for artists that cannot afford this, that, and the third, and then, making themselves available. But I'd like to see it become a trend. I think, Shanti Das in the Silence is Shame initiative is taking on the lead in terms of like, hey, you need to offer this. You need to be speaking to your artists about this. You need to make this available. So I think we're coming along, like it's happening slowly. But surely, I think at some point it'll become the norm. So it needs to.
So are there organizations where like independent artists can get health insurance through?
I don't know if it's full on health insurance.
Okay.
I don't know how it full on works.
Right.
I got to do my own research.
Oh yeah,
on
maybe
that.
we should. That could be a cool topic. You know what I mean? Just try and find some. Yeah.
If any industry needs it, bro.
Yeah.
Man, we need it the most.
No, for sure.
Real.
So other than kind of like ramping up the benefits that like an artist might have, are there any other just like blatant like flaws that you see that like could be easily changed, right? Because I think there's like some systemic things, right, within the music business. But like, what are just like a few quick wins that you're like, how the fuck have we not done this? Is there anything that you've been just thinking about and you're like, I don't see why we can't change this?
I'd like for companies to stop saying they're artists first when they're not.
What does artist first mean to you?
Artist first to me actually means prioritizing the needs of the artist.
In practice.
I'm an artist. I sign a deal with your company and Third and Hayden. Third and Hayden wants to see me, have XYZ budget and it be spent this particular way. You as the big entity is like, okay, cool. That sounds great. We're artists first, yada, yada, yada. And then, a year from now, it's like, oh yeah, we're actually just going to pivot. We're actually not going to do that thing anymore.
So
Best of luck.
Follow through.
Just some follow through. And then if you're not getting it right, finding out why you're not getting it right instead of just being like, hey, this isn't working. I can only really speak from my own personal experience because as a JV or as a smaller label, I partner with sometimes bigger companies and they want to be artists first and they want to be, hey, we're artists aligned, but then their deals don't necessarily look like that. So that's in practice, right? Your deals should actually be friendly and not predatory and not only benefit you, right? As the big guy in the equation. Yep. It should benefit all parties to some degree. And obviously I probably sound very anti-business. Maybe that's why I'm not a millionaire yet, but I think if we can just create a more equitable, terms for people, I think that, everybody can be happy.
Yeah. Artist first, baby.
That's right.
Henry?
Yeah.
We've entered a final segment of the podcast with our friend Kei Opens Doors.
You guys are a great host.
Thank you
so much.
We've done this for 200 and
how many days?
Something episodes.
You're episode 200 and something now.
Yeah, at this point we're in the
I don't have a number. I'm just 200 something.
We don't know. We don't know.
I'm gonna say 203.
Where we have internals and all these things. We're trying to
going on. But for now, this is the rapid fire rampage. Key. This
I
is
have to think fast.
Tell us more, Henry.
Rapid fire.
Oh, man.
Tell us more.
I hate these kinds of things.
This is going to be kind of quick based things. There's 3 parts too.
Okay.
We're just going to start with some short answer questions. Ease into it real nice.
You're not going to ease.
Starting with, what did you have for lunch today?
Oh, I had a egg and cheese croissant and some hashies.
Ooh, shit.
Lots of carbs.
Breakfast for lunch is
Sounds
fire.
delicious to me.
Amazing. Okay. Have you seen the Double XL Freshman that got released today?
Have I?
Oh, God.
Initial thoughts. Are there any artists that you would have put there maybe instead of who they put on there? General reactions to the Freshman.
Instead of? I can't think of any instead ofs.
Who would you like to honorable mention maybe?
Anicia, I think, had a great year.
Yes.
This is kind of a weird answer.
Sure.
And it might be too late. But Tierra Whack, I don't know, was she ever a freshman?
I think she might have been actually.
Back in the day?
I think she was
Was she?
actually at one point.
Might have.
I feel like she
Am
was.
I the worst Tierra Whack fan on the planet?
You might be, but I don't think that's required to be a Tierra Whack.
No one really cares about the Freshmen like they used to. Also,
I wouldn't say that. I think we all care.
like we used to, though. I mean,
Not like we used to. No.
2019.
yeah,
She was on the year after 21 Savage?
Yes.
You're lying.
that sounds right to me. I don't know.
2019 XXL freshman interview.
My bad, T. That's my bad. I was doing a lot in 2019.
You just showed love to her, so I don't think that's your bad. You know?
Well, yeah, that's who came to mind.
Yeah.
I think now would have been a better timing because her album was great.
Yeah.
I don't think enough people heard it and are talking about it.
She's so creative too in her rollouts and how she does structures.
One of the best rollouts I've ever seen.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
hands
good.
down.
All right, Kei, you have just signed an artist that has an insanely impressive catalog of unreleased music. You are blown away. But no released music, no fan base, no social media, and no money. But you are like, this is your favorite artist of all time. What are the first steps? And for some reason you signed them. What are the first steps?
It's actually not far-fetched.
That unwavering self-belief or vision, you know?
Believe all the way.
You got the vision, bro.
This is your person.
Locked in.
What are the first steps we're taking with this artist?
The first steps were establishing a brand. Like, what do we look like? How do people come to like us? Like, what is our iconography? What is our logo? What are our colors, our fonts? Like, all of the things that seem kind of unimportant, that are actually very like foundational to setting up a brand, I think are where I like to start. Maybe some artists aren't as excited about that piece of it, but I think the right artists know how important it is.
Kei, your dog can now speak English, but you must choose an accent for it to speak in.
She's definitely giving
New
this
Orleans.
thought. Oh,
Yeah.
A little Cajun.
Bayou?
Yeah, he's from New Orleans.
It's dinner time, baby.
Yeah, man.
You hear me? Where's food, you heard me?
Why do you sound so Cajun?
Wow.
I like that accent.
That was wild.
I mean, it's top 3 accents in the world.
Yeah,
I mean-
and Lil Wayne's my favorite artist.
Apparently.
I mean, he's the best.
It's great.
Yeah.
So, I'm interested in if you would ever sign an AI artist.
Oh,
What's your AI stance? What if you have an AI artist that's popping, bringing in, just rolling in the money?
You just crushed her soul.
I love it. I love it.
You just stomped on her heart, bro.
We got an AI influencer that people are in love with. People are streaming the shit out of this artist, and you can
Just the
sign
money
them.
is rolling in.
God.
And they don't have human problems. They'll never not.
There's no
feel
mental
like-
health.
Talk
There's no
back.
mental health issue.
You don't need the mental health fund.
You don't need any mental health benefits at
Yeah.
all. No therapy.
Yeah.
am I signing them? The AI?
Yes.
You gotta sign it.
No. I cannot morally stand next to that. Like, if I don't really genuinely have a passion for your thing,
What if you did?
like, I like the AI music. How? How would I like the AI music?
Do you like a cartoon character really resonated with you growing up? Similar
Bugs
fashion?
Bunny, Roger Rabbit.
Imagine Bugs.
That was kind of a good drop.
That's a good.
That was a
analogy.
bar, bro.
Bugs
Whoa.
drops.
Have you said that before?
We've never like asked this exactly, but
No, but like, have you talked to someone about AI music being like cartoon generated
right now,
character?
yeah.
Wow.
What if Bugs dropped like the album of the year?
We did love cartoons as if they were
Damn,
real
we did,
people.
As if they were real.
I had a crush on fucking what was her name?
from-
Lola
yeah,
Bunny.
Space
Yeah,
Jam.
Lola Bunny. I mean,
Sure.
for
Oh,
sure.
that makes sense.
yeah,
Did you ever know Jessica Rabbit?
yeah.
Roger Rabbit.
She was
Of course.
She was smoking.
jacked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really trying to
Let's take a
unpack
turn.
what she just did, though. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
Excuse me.
no, that makes sense.
You said it really weird.
I mean, you also said I clearly don't have a filter. That was just payback.
Okay. All right, but so do we just kind of make you come around to the AI thing? Still no?
I think it's still a no.
Okay, hard pass.
I'm old, bro. Like,
I mean,
I'm not
yeah,
AIing things. How do I A&R AI?
I think you got to learn. I think that's keeping up with the times.
I think you're just. I think that's just marketing. I think you could do it.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I'll come around and feel differently, but in this current moment on episode 200 something,
that's great. You've just been elected supreme overlord of the music industry
am I not that?
in our minds. What's the first thing that you change?
I mean, we got to pay more people. We got to pay people more on Spotify.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. That's
the first
thing.
first big step.
Streaming in general, though, not just
Yeah.
Spotify, but all
But, I
streaming.
mean,
We have to pay them more. We got to figure it out.
Yeah.
There's got to
Yeah.
be a way.
Key, if you were an emoji, what emoji would you be?
Right now, my favorite emoji is the one that's like, he's like blowing smoke.
Yeah.
It's like, whew.
Yeah.
That one. I'm thinking that one right
Because it
now.
could be multiple things. It could be like, that's fire. Or it
Yeah.
could be like, I'm exhausted. Or it could be like,
Right.
you
Because
know
I'm
what I mean?
often that.
Yeah.
I'm exhausted.
It's versatile.
Yeah.
What
I
we've
like
learned
it.
about
I like
Key
the
on this
options.
episode is she's tired.
I'm so tired.
She's a tired black woman. Don't fucking
See
mess
how
with
racist they are? We are in Stone Mountain.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Apparently, white people can't say the word black before
You can't
woman.
say tired black woman. It's actually like saying the N-word.
Oh, man.
Pretty much the same thing.
You're going to have to bleep that now.
Music podcaster basically says N-word is going to be the
Not I got
title.
y'all canceled.
Episode 200 something. It was about time we went up in flames, and it was the
It was-
TBW.
Yeah.
It's going to be a clip that we post.
I'm not saying it again.
Exactly. Don't say it again.
Let's move the fuck on really fast.
I've learned my lesson.
Key, what is your favorite curse word?
Shit.
Shit.
Mine too.
That
Love
was
it.
a perfect segue into that because
That was part one.
it's
Yeah.
pretty much like shit. Get this over with.
We are. We're going right into part two. This is the this or that. I'm going to give you two choices.
Okay.
Just have to pick one.
Okay.
Starting with.
Don't do anything with TBW.
And I'm gonna, you know what I am going to do is mute your mic right now. So how's that sound?
Wow.
Starting with. I'll put him back in here in a second on good behavior. Hooks or verses?
Versus.
Third verse or bridge?
Bridge.
Singles or albums?
Albums.
Hard work or talent?
Hard work.
Rich or happy?
Happy.
Bowling or tennis?
Ooh. Tennis.
Hot or lemon pepper?
I actually don't eat chicken anymore.
Ooh.
I know.
Well, it could be hot or lemon pepper, not chicken.
chicken. That's what they did. Lemon pepper.
Can't believe it's not chicken or whatever. Impossible chicken.
Impossible chicken.
Sports car, SUV.
SUV.
Silly socks or silly hats.
Hats.
And finally, become a full-time rapper or leave the music industry.
Oh, wow. Leave the music industry.
What a sad, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, she's gone.
Did you never have any like aspirations?
I used to rap.
Oh.
Not ever professionally.
Can we find
but,
it
I
on-
used to write raps like in a notebook.
Everyone wrote raps.
Yeah, we all
I
wrote
wrote
raps.
raps.
Sure.
I mean, that's
fair.
You know.
Yeah.
Were they Eminem-ish? Was that
That's
racist?
racist, bro. Okay, so
Okay, was it Post Malone-ish?
Oh.
that's racist.
Was it appropriation-ish?
Oh God. Getting
You guys
getting
have great
shots
clips for this episode.
Getting
We
shots
do.
fired from my white co-host is insane, bro. How is my white co-host calling me
I stand with Key.
an appropriator?
Sorry, I stand with Key.
Henry's smart.
Yeah.
Smart.
I don't stand with either of you.
We are moving to the final section. This is the word association. This is where it gets real dangerous.
Okay.
I'm going to say one word, and you have to give me immediately the first word
That comes
right
to
back
mind?
off
The
the top
first
of your
word.
head. That's right. Here we go. Don't think about it. There's no correct answers. You're only judged on speed. Starting with music,
Love.
caffeine,
Hate.
swag,
Ew.
content, SpongeBob,
Love.
jet ski,
Sorry. I have a friend that crashed a jet ski into a boat.
Oh shit!
So I couldn't think of a word.
It was just
Thought of
that
video.
image. Yeah. No, that's a great
Well,
answer.
who was that?
His name is BJ. I think he's a A&R.
Was that the
DJ.
was that like one that went viral?
Yes.
Yeah. Wait.
It was very funny.
You saw
Who was
this?
he with? Was
He was
with
with
some
Brandon
famous rapper?
Farmer. No, he was with Brandon Farmer.
Okay,
He's
so
the
I just
manager.
saw it from Brandon's
Yes.
page.
That's instantly
It's
what I
the
thought of.
funniest thing I've
That was
ever.
the funniest thing I've ever
It's
seen.
literally the best thing I've ever.
Who
It's the best
does
piece
that
of
in real
content.
life?
Just straight up into a yacht.
Yeah.
We'll try and find the clip and put it right
Dude, I'll
do.
find it. It's so good.
Okay. Spinach,
Yum.
viral,
Ew.
legend,
Jay-Z.
3 a.m.
Good time to work. That's not one word. But
No, that a phrase is cool, and I agree. OnlyFans,
I don't know if I have a word for that. NLE Choppa.
What?
Lil,
Uzi.
third.
What? Oh, is that the word?
Third.
And Hayden.
Let's go. Let's fucking go.
This has been Kei Henderson, folks. As always, please like, comment, subscribe, follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts. Leave us a 5-star review. We are here each and every week.
Every week.
Love that.
Thank you for coming on, Kei.
For sure. 200 and something.
200 and something. Y'all stay tuned to 300 and something. Peace, y'all.